guys, welcome back to Sando Drop Fall into Poison Part 2. So in the previous episode, we set up plans to go to the aquarium and we just had some lunch. And I believe that now that they are going to go into the aquarium to find these urban legends that Himeno has been talking about like crazy. She's so excited. Okay, and then I'm just gonna continue from here. Talking about silly things together, we leave the station behind. As opposed to the station's excellent cooling system, the city streets have a peculiar humidity and heat to them that envelops our bodies. The beginning of July, summer has only just begun and I can already tell it's going to be a tough one. We weave our way through the crowds until we are 10 minutes away from the station, finally ending up in front of a skyscraper. The building is a symbol for the people of Manton, a combined facility for commerce, what you might call a fashion building in reference to the businesses it contains. Manton is a town known as a place people go for amusement. If you really want to have a good time, they have a movie theater, arcades, and several shops, though you need to have money. Because of that, young men and women are more numerous than boys and girls. In this town of people older than us, Himeno scans the panels for each floor without fear, saying, the aquarium is... People are concentrated around the panels. Of little help to Himeno and trying to take up as little space as possible, I leave the search to her and gaze up at the building. I look up and up, but the top of the building is so far I think my neck will snap. That's magnificent. This building was built not long after I was born. It had been finished before I could walk, but the first and only time I came here was in elementary school. The instant I think back on my first visit, my head begins to hurt. Whoa, what was that? Oh, that was exciting. No, I have to try not to think about it. Those are things from long ago, things from the past, things that are done. I can do nothing but deal with the pain that feels as if something is pressing against the inside of my skull. I finally hear Himeno calling me in a loud voice. The elevator's this way, come on! I push away my headache and step through the automatic door. The information at the entrance and the placement of the crane game are exactly the same as that day, giving me a slightly bad feeling. From the elevator landing, we need to head for the top floor of the separate Manton East building. The elevator is the type that has a glass window so you can see out. That is the only thing that distracted me from my gloom. A crowd of people get on with us, but almost all of them are gone by the time we reach the floor that contains the aquarium. They probably stopped off at the apparel or sundries shops. It isn't that we aren't interested, but Himeno recommends It's crowded now, so let's come back when it's less busy. And that keeps us back, deciding to stick with the plans that we made back at the coffee shop. Stepping onto our floor, the atmosphere immediately switches to a lively one. The sounds of chatter are drowned out by the roar of a large fan. The lighting is dim and tinted slightly blue. The windows are also covered, giving the feeling that it has suddenly become night. As this is an aquarium, it makes sense that the concept is based around the ocean. Yes, the pungent smell of salt is a major change. Amazing! It's like we've dived into the deep sea. That's what I thought too. Instead of being targeted at families lately, it seems more like a date spot for adults, or at least that's what the magazine said, but it's true. Even though this is my second time coming here, it feels like the first time. Next to the entrance is a souvenir shop, though it lacks the usual boisterous voices. It appears to be a place that can be reached both from the inside and outside, but it doesn't seem to get many customers. Just as Himino had said, the aquarium seems to target adults. In an atmosphere like that, even Himino looks nervous. Hey, Mayu. What's up? I forgot to tell you one important thing. Himino makes a mysterious face and brings her mouth up to my ear. What? Did you drop your wallet or something? No, that's not it. This is something that I heard that's a bit of an urban legend. But they say the amount of people going missing is on the rise. There's a rumor that this month alone, the number missing is well into the double digits. Huh? We have this conversation in front of the metal rack that holds the map of the aquarium. Aside from the map, there's a guide to Manton East Building and information about affiliated hotels. During that time, we hear the sound of the elevator opening and closing, but do not see the people going into the aquarium. Manton used to be a shopping district, right? That seems to be why, even if there were a lot of runaways, the media wouldn't pay much attention. But supposedly, many of the missing people had stopped off at Manton Aquarium. That rumor, who did you hear it from? Who indeed? No one in particular. You know how rumors spread. At Himino's words, I feel a cold shiver along my spine. Regardless of how credible the rumors, a sense of dread shoots through me. Considering my past, it's natural I would feel connected to missing persons in my age range, especially if they are runaways. If that is the case, it would send chills down along the back of my neck. Why on earth? You could have told me this before. Well, I thought if you heard about Mai, you might not have wanted to come. Oh, so you forgetting to tell me was a lie then, little... I had intended to protest firmly, but it still ended rather anticlimactically. Ghosts may exist, and they still may be unable to come back, but that doesn't mean I'm interested in visiting places where they are. This is proof that Himino has her own strange interests, yet it still makes me feel even more worried. This rumor has a continuation, specifically people who saw the deep-sea fish booth never came home. Himino relays those two pieces of information that frightened me with a smile. The rumor itself aside, she wanted to pass over the question of why people were able to see the closed-off deep-sea fish booth in the first place, not wanting to discuss it at all. Wait a minute, Himino. Something else is tied in beneath that fear. Something about the aquarium and the missing persons who didn't come home. That was essentially... Oh, she's closer. So cool. So excited. Are you okay, Mayu? Sorry, I guess I scared you a bit too much. I think the story's pretty exaggerated, so don't worry about it. I heard it's a fun aquarium. I think we should take those stories with a grain of salt, right? Though her kindness is misdirected, it's kindness just the same. Having involuntarily sat down, I take the hand Himino extends to me. As I slowly rise to my feet, I respond, yeah, you're right. To think that I would hear of a connection to my precious memory in a place like this. It's strange. After 5 years, the memories should have faded. I tell myself this, then let out a small sigh. Himino is actually showing concern, so I sit down on a bench in the rest area next to the souvenir shop. Himino even brings me a can of cocoa. As I'm drinking it, she buys our tickets. With her doing all of this, I have to go with her. Are you okay, miss? The fact that I'm thinking thoughts like, this canned cocoa is a little weak. It's proof that I'm cooling down. As I'm starting to feel better, a male voice calls out to me. While holding my half-finished cocoa, I turn in the direction of the voice came from. Rather than the boy's voice I expect, it belongs to an adult, so I respond timidly. I'm okay, so... Oof, no need to be so vigilant. He's wearing a gray knit cap and a brown running shirt. He's tall, even for a guy, so I have to look up at him. His build is almost all muscle, and my shoulders shudder a bit in surprise. He appears well over the age of 20, so I can't think of a reason he would want to talk to us. Whether he realizes I'm looking up at him or not, he plunks down right next to me. Even after he sits down, we aren't sitting at the same height. Pretending to fix my posture, I move away from him a little. Are you not feeling well? Well, I think her personality would answer with this. I'm fine, really. Thanks to my nerves and my wariness, I end up speaking unnaturally fast. Moreover, if he really is a kind person, I might end up abusing his good intentions. How cold. It figures. I say again without thinking, without my knowing what he's so happy about. The man's mouth loosens into a grin. You're pretty clever. I give up. But you know, I seriously am worried about you. Your face is pale and all. His kind words take me by surprise. I inadvertently avert my eyes. For some reason, I become strangely embarrassed and begin tapping my index finger on my can of cocoa. Well, that aside, since you came to have fun, let me show you around. We are really just fine. The words come out so naturally they surprise even me. I have now become a complete idiot, and my eyes meet his. I work part-time in this building, so I'm familiar with it. This area, that is. Hey, what are you doing? Himino. I gasped and looked up. Himino is there carrying 2 tickets and some pamphlets. With her hands on her hips and her cheeks puffed out, Himino glares at the man with narrowed eyes. I think the only ones allowed to hit on junior high schoolers would be high schoolers. No, I'm not trying to hit on anyone. This girl just looked unwell is all. Mayu, what happened? I think it was what you'd call hitting on someone. Was it hitting someone? You're the worst. Himino pulls my arm with a jerk, pulling me backward. Then she inserts herself between the man and I. Hey, mister, Himino mutters, facing the man's chest. On hearing her say mister and giving me a puzzled look, the man shows us the plastic name tag hanging from his neck. I must have forgotten to take this off. Himino, speaking of which, he did say he works part-time in this building. Then is that his entry card or something? He slaps his knees and rises to his feet. He probably played some kind of sport or something, because the movement as he stands looks so effortless. I'm Hiyoshi Kenji. I work part-time at the shop downstairs. With this entry card, I can get into Manton Aquarium at a discount. Is it a company employee discount? Something like that. I'm not exactly a company employee, but I get in at half off anyway, so I come here often. Really? That's quite unexpected for you, mister. When you become older, you'll crave these soothing experiences as well. And I'm not old enough to be a mister. Now he says it. Compared to us, you're definitely old enough to be a mister. Hiyoshi-san grimaces angrily, then sniffs in a self-deprecating manner. He appears to be a little older than a college student, so calling him old enough to be a mister is probably rude, but Himino only said the impression he gave was pretty close. With the aquarium as a sure joint of interest, Himino's attitude towards Hiyoshi-san sought as proof. Himino talks with Hiyoshi about the shops in this building. I don't really know a lot about brands, so I sip my remaining cocoa and listen from the outside. My iced cocoa had become lukewarm cocoa. Well, mister, are you also well versed in urban legends? On hearing Himino's question, my head pops up in surprise. The corners of Hiyoshi's mouth lift into a grin. It's a rather unexpected for you as well, so you're interested in such things. Of course I am. You're only young once, so you have to satisfy your curiosity. We're looking into the closed-down deep-sea fish booth. There's a rumor that it's open on the day of the full moon. Do you know anything about it? Hiyoshi places his hand on his chin and looks down, grunting loudly. He glances at me, looks over at the entrance, and finally turns to Himino and opens his mouth. I think you need to give up on that one thing. Naturally, since I'm a regular here, I often hear rumors like there are spirits floating in the tanks, or every time a person dies, the jellyfish tank increases by 1, and so on. Himino, the story you mentioned shouldn't be anything more than one of those rumors, but... Stop dancing around it! Just tell me! Previously, I knew someone who went looking into this just as you girls are doing now, Himino. He went missing soon after. Missing? Without thinking about it, I joined their conversation. If someone has gone missing here at Manton Aquarium, it holds significance for me as well. Is that for real? I glanced back in surprise. Himino is still looking at him with doubt in her eyes. Hiyoshi listens to what Himino said and with a playful smile responds, Just kidding. It's a lie. I wonder if it is a lie. Because of the words he muttered, my curiosity has been piqued. I couldn't imagine the tense face he made as he told the story of an acquaintance who went missing being faked. That's right, but if that's the case, then this really might interest you, Mayu. I've thought from the beginning that it would be better to just give up. No way! I already bought the tickets anyway. Himino's face shows that she's enjoying herself to the end, and she takes my arm to gently pull me closer to her. This was a signal that she was ready to go, and in my mind, I prayed that nothing would happen. Well then, wanna walk around with me? Hiyoshi calls out to Himino, who has said later, but it's me rather than Himino who hears him and spins around first, so I make eye contact with Hiyoshi and say, No way, I think we'll pass. That's fine. I think I will go with him. That's fine. Oh, surprising how quick you got into a good mood. Hiyoshi snaps his fingers and rushes to her side. Out! Out! As she says this, Himino steps in front of me and makes a big X mark with both hands. Mayu, don't be tricked by an old guy like him. He uses kind words to get close to you, but he's thinking weird things inside his mind. Himino, that's not it at all. What do you mean by weird things, Himino? Well... Hiyoshi narrows his eyes and grins wildly. He glosses over my question and asks, What, Himino? For some reason, Himino's face goes red and she grabs me tightly by the wrist. Sexual harassment! Definitely sexual harassment, mister! Without giving Hiyoshi a second look, Himino drags me to the gate. Hiyoshi smiles and shrugs his shoulders. The aquarium entrance is so dark that we can't see in front of us until we are inside. I can feel the cold air on my skin. I get a sensation of something heavy, causing me to rub my arm. Naturally, there is no mark indicating something has touched me, and called back by Himino's, Hey, let's go! I pass my ticket through the machine. Meh. It figures that if you come on a day of a full moon, all the water will change into blood. Thing is a lie. The water's normal. Of course it is. Jeez. Right away, Himino says so regretfully. Even so, she's still unable to hold back her excitement at having come to the aquarium, and her steps are fittingly light. As we come out of the gate, there are several small tanks nearby. Manton Aquarium's first and most celebrated exhibit is the one displaying fish native to Tokyo Bay. There are 4 tanks in this corner, from left to right, each one showing the environments of the river flowing into Tokyo Bay. Brackish waters, shoals, and open water come one right after the other. Himino giggles as rockfish, porgy, and other fish we recognize from the supermarket are also there. This booth also showcases environmental problems in order to prompt consciousness of the issue, causing a tightening in my chest. Water pollution is a serious problem. Tomorrow I think I'll try asking Mom to use a little less detergent. Suddenly it gotten like this. Himino's reaction is the polar opposite of mine. Even as I'm rating the panels, she's uninterested in the display. Just like that, I read every last panel. Himino has long since stopped watching me, crossing her arms and puffing at her cheeks. Thanks for waiting, Himino. Jeez, you're too serious, Mayu. If you act like that the whole time, the day will be over. Or they'll close. It'll be fine. This area isn't that big, and it's not like I'm going to read everything. As soon as she hears what I said, an expression of dissatisfaction appears on Himino's face. Well, let's head to the next area. Next is the tunnel tank. There might be ghosts, or maybe that'll be with the human-like fish. Jeez, come on already. Even saying something like that upon entering the aquarium, I had begun to enjoy myself. Upon cheerfully calling out to Himino, my previous unease had disappeared, leaving me ready to move forward with a light step. Amazing! Really amazing. And pretty. With no door to partition this booth, and the next, passing beside this tank took us to the next one, where larger breeds of fish swim about. This is no ordinary tank, but rather a giant tube-like tunnel with the left and right sides connected above our heads in an arc. As we walk through the tunnel, we're able to watch the fish moving about in 3 dimensions. We bring our faces as close as we can to the glass, giving the illusion that we're in the ocean. Just watching the mantas, the rays, the various types of sharks, and the sea turtles can be intoxicating for us humans. When I was a child, I thought the ceiling might crack, but now I pass that feeling up, leaving only the throbbing of my heart. The water is a giant bundle of blue, various colors within it shooting every which way. Being able to see how big they are close, separated by mere centimeters of glass, is so impressive it gives me the greatest realization of our shared existence. Here, Himina's pace slows and she takes her steps one by one. Hey Mayu, look at these huge fangs! Himino, that fish is too cute. Wow, the stingray's face is creepy. Really? I think it's cute. Ah, a manta, it's huge. That little one over there looks yummy. Talking as the words come to us, our conversation seems out of sync. Our feelings of being touched, however, are the same, and Himina's enjoyment is obvious. Being surrounded by the water and the fish as we are, we feel as though we're freed from any sense of time. Mayu, doesn't this raised face look human? Maybe so. It does! It does! The mystery of the human fish is solved. Naturally. Well, if you're okay with it, then so am I. Thus we learned the true nature of one of the urban legends. I was fine either way, but for Himino, this way is probably best. Though from Himino's enthusiastic stance, even as she watches the fish, she probably realizes just how implausible it all is. Rather than get tired of it, though, I'm having fun. We move leisurely through the tunnel, coming to a stop at the center. Up to this point, only the big things have caught our eyes, but on closer inspection of the tank, there's also sand piled up to our knees, with shrimp, shellfish, small fish, and other such creatures dwelling there. Compared to the manta rays, the small shrimp, which can't even be considered child-sized, seem so cute and innocent as they swim about, breaking through the sand. Hey, look, Himino. Ah, it's tiny! As I expected, Himino has followed the human face ray, and on seeing my fingertips, speaks in a playful tone. Upon sensing the tremors from Himino poking the glass, the ray kicks at the sand and flees deeper into the tank. Man, it's gone now. As I say this to Himino, I smile at a small shrimp. Himino does the same, smiling quietly. Before long, the two of us are looking up at the ceiling, toying with the question of just how high it is. Even looking up, we can only see the fish swimming, never the ceiling itself. Looking up from the bottom of the sea, one would normally see the rays of the sun piercing the water, but looking up here was the opposite, with the bottom of the sea seeming to continue forever. It could have been the reflection of the light, or the ceiling really might have been too high. As I realized I can't be sure, my eyes settle on a small but characteristically long-nosed shark swimming past. Sharks. Sharks? That's a ray, isn't it? You just saw it from behind earlier. As soon as I mutter that, Himino responds. It's true that although I'm interested in this type, Himino has fixated on the human-faced ray. Huh? What's up? Himino asks, but I falter. This conversation gives me a sense of what you might call deja vu. How strange. I felt as if I've had this conversation before. At that moment, my vision has dyed ultramarine. Huh? It was no longer Himino in front of me, but someone else that had caught my attention. This can't be real? Hey, Mayu! The ultramarine color unchanged. Within it, a face like mine passes before me. A face like mine from 5 years ago. Wearing an ultramarine overcoat that merges with the color of my vision, the girl turns to me and seems to be giving me a gentle smile. Mayu, wait! Mari... Without hearing Himino calling me back, I start running. We haven't finished looking at everything in the tube tunnel tank, but there's something more important right in front of me. Long hair that looks almost transparent, a thick blue coat, cute boots with fur on them. There was no way I could forget that outfit. That's because it was the outfit of my little sister, Nakanobi Mari, wore it when she went missing here 5 years ago. The girl quickens her pace as if playing with me and disappears out the other side of the tunnel. There are hardly any people there, but I lose sight of her between the shadows of the tank and the corner. Mari, how? Why? Hey, Mayu, wait! Breathing heavily, Himiko chases after me. I say, sorry, and break away from her, searching for the vision of Mari. As I come out of the tunnel, I survey the area, spotting a winter skirt nearby. I chase after that swaying form. Behind me, I can hear the intensity of Himino's rushing steps and quicken my pace. Having fallen into a trance, I realize what's going on when I slam into something and fall on my backside. The girl clicks her tongue as she picks up what she had dropped. As I start to say excuse me to her, she's already moving past me and running off somewhere. Because of that brief incident, I'm unable to find my way out of my confusion. Anyway, Mari, I feel bad about the person I'd run into, causing me to feel flustered. In that exchange, I lose sight of both that long hair and that long skirt. But you were going this way, right? I'm not sure myself where I'm running to, but I think you can say I'm definitely running with all my heart. I pass between more tanks than I can remember, but I don't pay them one bit of attention. I just continue following Mari's back, running. Mari's just as bashful as she was the day she disappeared. Mayu, get a hold of yourself! Those few words end my chase. To be more accurate, it was ended by Himino herself, who had grabbed my wrist. Huh? You suddenly took off and you wouldn't turn around no matter how many times I called you. Even when you dropped something, you had no idea. What happened all of a sudden? Wait, Himino, if I can go after Mari, I'll explain everything, so... Hold it! I look back at Himino. Upon hearing her extremely hurt voice, I see tears forming in Himino's eyes, and I turn my whole body to face her. I stand in silence like this for several seconds. If I tell Himino about Mari, I'm sure she will regret bringing me to Manton Aquarium. When she followed me, she had to have seen Mari. It's natural that she would have some misgivings about me chasing some total stranger since she doesn't know Mari. Even so, I'm not sure what to say. If I apologize now and play dumb, we can probably go back to playfully searching the aquarium for information. But that's not something I can do. It isn't the similarities that are the problem. Mari is here, and just as she had been on that day, there's no way I can go home without taking her with me. Okay, I feel like ending this episode here. It's definitely getting way too long, and I still want to do one more before I quit recording for the night. So if you enjoyed, if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to see more videos. And I hope you guys look forward to part 3 of Fall into Poison, Sound of Drop. Thank you for watching. Bye!